Hey guys, and welcome to Friday. We've made it through another week together, so congratulations on that one. It's day 45. So what we're going to do today is we're going to review our dative quiz that you took on Wednesday, and we're going to review the worksheet that you did for homework on Thursday. Your only homework for today, aside from just watching this video and kind of listening to me prattle on forever, just hand in your flashcard journal. Okay, 25 minutes, that's all I'm asking for today. Okay, and just as a reminder, you'll be getting the schedule, and I'll post the schedule too so that you see it and have it for final exams. But our Latin final, I'm pretty sure this is correct and I can double check it, but you'll see it on the schedule as well, so you can double check me as well. It's going to be Tuesday, June 16th from 1 to 3 p.m. Okay, now just so you guys are aware, I have not made your final yet. It's in the works though. Okay, next week is our final week, like our last week of school rather. So what we're going to be doing during that time is review. I will give you a study guide to help you. All right, but that's beside the point. We'll talk more about that later. All right, so first let's just go through the dative quiz that you should have taken on Wednesday. Okay. The first question, or one of the questions, is what are the noun functions for each of the following cases? Okay, so this is a checkbox type answer here, or multiple choice. So pretty much you kind of have to just match up the boxes, match up the X and the Y. Okay, so nominative, direct object, that's going to be accusative. Indirect object, that's dative. Object of the preposition, okay, it could be ablative, could also be accusative. All right, there's two options here. Possession would be genitive. Predicate nominative, the answer is in the question, right? It's a nominative. And subject noun is also nominative. Okay, so those are the answers. You just need to know what each case does, like what's the purpose of it, how does that word function in a sentence. Okay, that's just some review. Okay, next, what are the key words for the dative case? Okay, now if you paid attention to the video lessons for this week, you would have picked up on me yelling at you forever to say, whenever you see the dative, translate it with to or for. Okay, whichever one makes more sense in the context of the sentence. Okay, so to or for, those are the dative keywords. Now, these are all kind of similarly, like they're all related, these questions. Okay, they're the questions we ask to help us determine what's the subject, direct object, and indirect object. Okay, so question 1, who or what is doing the action of the verb? Here, that's the subject now. Okay, next, who or what is receiving the action of the verb, i.e. being directly affected by the action of the verb? That's the direct object. Okay, and finally, who or what is being indirectly affected by the action of the verb? Well, the answer is once again in the question. It's an indirect object. Okay? Now, this question was a little hard, and don't panic. I'm in the midst of grading them, so that's just a feature of Google Forms. It's going to say that you got the question wrong, but that's just because it's a short answer question. Google Forms can only answer multiple choice and checkbox questions. Okay, any other type of question, I, as the administrator and teacher, have to go in and physically look at the question answer that you've given and give it a point or not. So I have to manually put that in. So if you, don't panic, okay? You probably got it right, you're fine. All right, so think back to my billiards pool analogy from the grammar lesson on the dative case forever ago. Explain it below in your own words. Pretty much, to sum it up real quick, okay, this is the subject noun, and this is what you directly hit. This is your direct object, okay? The impact of the subject noun is directly affecting this. Okay, these are indirect objects, right? You gotta hit this, use the stick to hit this ball to move these, to indirectly affect these, okay? Because you can't directly just hit these. That's not the way pool works. Okay, so that would be what kind of explanation I was looking for. Okay? Continuing on, all right, this was the second section of the dative quiz. I've actually, I thought this was a cool way to kind of have you mark it up without physically marking it up on a piece of paper. So, right, the sentence is up here. Okay, clemens puellae vinum offerebat. Okay, so who's the subject? And for that, to answer this question, you need to know case endings. Okay, that's why endings are so stinking important. Okay, you need to know them. So clemens is your subject noun. Okay, vinum is your direct object. I'm sorry, oops. See, even I messed that up. Vinum is your direct object, which means puellae is your indirect object. Offerebat is simply the verb. Okay, and if we were to translate this, okay, let's just mark it up here so we can see what we're working with. Okay, Clemens was offering wine to the girl. Okay, because this is dative, see, I translated that with to or for in the context of the sentence. To makes more sense. Okay, next. Juvenis servo pecuniam tradidit. Well, first things first, it's easy to identify the verb. So tradidit is your verb here. Okay. Now, Juvenis, that is, okay, it's not, it's nominative, all right, but that's just because you know your vocabulary. Okay, so this is your subject noun. Pecuniam is your direct object. Okay, and servo is your indirect object. Okay, so the markup is going to look like this. Okay, and again, how do we know? We know because endings. Okay, the endings will help you out. So let's translate. The young man handed over the money to the slave. Okay, and again, because this is our indirect object, our dative case, right? We need to translate it with to or for. Okay? Next. Dominus mercatori statuam emet. All right, so first things first, where's our verb? It's here. Okay, so that's our verb. That am, okay, that's an accusative ending. So statuam is your direct object. Dominus, second declension, nominative, subject noun. And mercatori, okay, that I, in third declension, is dative, so indirect object. All right, so that's our markup. Let's translate. The master bought a statue for the merchant. Okay? Next. E. Metella filio togam quaerebat. First things first, the verb is super easy to identify. So quaerebat, that's your verb here. Okay, and notice we switched the axes here. Whoops. Okay, so quaerebat is your verb. Metella, nominative singular subject noun. Filio, okay, that's a dative ending, so that's going to be your indirect object. And togam, am, that's accusative, it's going to be your direct object. Okay, so let's mark that up, see what it looks like here. Okay, so let's translate. Metella was seeking a toga for her son. Okay, and again, see here, that's dative. I translated that with to or for. I chose for because it made more sense in the sentence. Okay? And finally, amicis annulum ostendo. Okay. Now, this one's going to be this one was a little tricky. It was kind of a curveball to throw at you to see how you handled it. Okay, so whereas our verb, it's ostendo. Okay. Annulum, it's got an accusative ending, so that's our direct object. And amicis, is not a nominative ending. Okay? That's a dative ending. So amicis is your indirect object. Technically, we don't have a subject noun. Okay? The subject noun is hidden in the verb, ostendo. O or M means I, remember? Okay? So this sentence was a little bit tricky, but it translates as I show the ring to my friends. Okay? So that's how that one worked. That one was a little bit of a trick question, but all right. Servi mercatori togas tradiderunt. Okay, same thing here. First, find our verb. Our verb is going to be tradiderunt. Okay, togas, that as, that's accusative. Accusatives are direct object. Servi and mercatori. Okay, so this one's a little bit tricky, but if you know your declensions and you know your endings, you'll be fine. Okay, if you know that servi comes from servus, servi, you'll know that this is probably your subject noun. It's nominative. Okay, even though these have the same endings, they both end in I, they're from different declensions, and therefore they're going to have different functions. Okay, so servi is your subject noun. Mercatori, okay, comes from mercator, mercatoris. That's a third declension noun. Remember our endings? Ex, is, e, e, es, ibus, es, ibus. Okay, that I, that's nominative, genitive, dative. Okay, whereas servi comes from second declension. Us, I, o, o, I, orum, is, os, is. Okay? And because our verb is plural, we need a plural subject, and servi can do that for us. Okay? So you see why knowing what declension a noun belongs to and knowing what endings they take can be helpful for you? If you don't, wah. Okay. Trust me. So mercatori is your indirect object. Now let's translate. The slaves, plural, handed over the togas to the merchant. Okay? And again, because this is dative, your girl translated it with to or for. Okay? So that's that. That's the end of the quiz. Okay, so if you have any questions on that, like, totally let me know. Okay, if there's something I said that you don't understand, either email me or whatever, let me know. That's why I'm here. Okay, and then yesterday, as in Thursday, I asked you to, brain fart, complete a worksheet for me. Okay, you had to choose the correct word in the dative case that went with the picture. All right, then I asked you to translate. Okay, and once again, I've included these charts here to help us. Okay, so Caecilius blank pecuniam dedit. All right, so Caecilius is a subject noun because that's a nominative ending. Pecuniam comes from pecunia, pecuniae. It's accusative ending. Okay, these endings are going to help us now. Clementi and Sufaki, okay, those are third declension datives, but which one belongs in the sentence? Who is this? Quis est in pectora? That is Sifax, the slave dealer. Okay, so the answer is Sufaki. All right, so Caecilius, let's translate now. Dated, gave, pecuniam, money. Sorry, we're going to rewrite that out because we're proper here. Gave money to Syphax. Okay, so that's that sentence. Right, and so you see how I used my knowledge of the endings to kind of help inform me and figure out what was missing. Okay, next. Metella blank togam quae rebat. All right, so let's figure out what we've got in our sentence and figure out what's missing. So metella is your subject noun. Okay, metella, metelli, first declension. Togam, okay, that's an am ending, that's accusative. Accusatives are direct object. Quae rebat is your verb, the ending tells me so. Okay, now we've got the words filio and cani. Okay, filio, both of these are dative, but they're different declensions. Okay, so filios filii is second declension. Okay, so the dative ending is filio. Canis canis is third declension. Okay, and it ends in I. So which one makes more sense in the sentence? Would Metella be seeking a toga for her son or a dog? Probably her son, although it would be quite comical to see a dog in a toga. Alright, so the translation here would be Metella quae rebat was seeking a togam, a toga, who? For her son. Alright, and that's the sentence. Now make sure you translate your verbs in the correct tense, okay? That's an imperfect verb, wasing, wering, alright? Wasing, bombas, bot, bombas, batas, bont. Okay, moving right along here. Oh, and in pictura you've got Metella et Anquila, Melissa, I think, in foro. And they're looking for a toga to give to Quintus. Okay, Quintus blank fabulam narravit. Alright, so let's figure out what we've got going on here. So Quintus is your subject noun. That US ending is nominative. Okay, fabulam is accusative. Narravit, that's your verb because that's a verb ending. Okay, so now amicis and lupis are both dative, okay, but they come from different declensions. So let's talk about where these endings are coming from. Amicus amici is a second declension masculine noun. Okay, so is is the dative plural here. I'm sorry, they're from the same declension. Duh. Okay, and breathe on, biscuits ain't for jam. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, lupus lupi, there we go, is also a second declension masculine noun. Okay, so that's dative ending. So which one makes more sense in the sentence? Quintus was narrating a fabulam for friends, two friends, or two wolves? Well, these all look like pretty nice guys to me. I'd assume they're friends, not wolves. Okay, so I think amicis is your answer here. So translate. Quintus narravit, told, right? That's perfect tense here. The fabulam, a story. Amicis, to his friends. Okay? Next. Caecilius blank vinum optimum offerebat. Okay. So let's figure out what we got. Okay. Caecilius ends in US. That's a nominative subject noun. Okay, US. Now vinum and optimum go together. Okay, they have matching endings. Okay, optimum is modifying Wienum. It's telling you what kind of Wienum it is. It's not malum Wienum, it's optimum Wienum. Okay, that okay, Wienum weenie is a second declension neuter. Okay, it could be nominative, but we already have a subject noun, so it's going to be accusative. Plus, it wouldn't make sense if the wine was doing the offering. That's just weird. Okay, so this is your direct object here, accusative. Now, both of these are dative, but they come from different declensions. Ancilla ancilai is a first declension noun, okay, and that's got an AE dative ending. Hospiti comes from hospes hospitis, and that hospiti, that's a dative ending. So which one makes more sense here? Who's being offered wine? Right? It wouldn't make sense if Caecilius is giving wine to the slaves. Okay, this looks like a guest. Okay. So Caecilius, translation here. Caecilius, offerebat, imperfect, wasing wearing, was offering optimum vinum, the best wine, hospiti, to his guest. Okay? So that's that. Alright, next. Nuntihi blank spectaculum nuntiaverunt. Okay. Let's figure out what we got here. Nuntius nuntii is a second declension masculine noun. Okay. That I ending is plural. It's our subject noun. Okay, and that makes sense because nuntiaverunt, nt, that's also plural. Those match. Okay, now spectaculum comes from spectaculum spectaculi. That's a second declension neuter noun. Okay, now it could be a nominative, but it's probably not because it wouldn't make sense for the spectacle to be announcing. Right? We want this to be our accusative direct object here. Okay, now kiwi and kiwibus. All right, these are the same word, just singular and plural. Okay, right? Because kiwis is a third declension noun. All right, and kiwi is singular, whereas kiwibus is dative plural. Okay, now which one makes sense in the picture? Is there just one citizen standing there? No, there's like a whole bunch. Okay, and there's actually two right here, just straight up chilling. Okay, so it makes sense to pick the plural. Right? So now let's translate. The nuntii, the messengers, nuntiaverunt, announced, the spectaculum, the spectacle, kiwibus, to the citizens. Okay? Alright, and I think there's one more. Yep, this is the last one. Okay. Leo blank pedem ostendit. Alright. So Leo Leonis is a third declension, but we know there's no unified ending for nominative, so you just kind of have to memorize third declension nouns. Okay, so we know that Leo is nominative. That's our subject. And that checks out because ostendit is a singular verb. Okay, now pedem comes from pes pedis, which is a third declension noun. Okay, and that em right here, that's accusative. So this is our direct object. Now, once again, you've got the same word, just the difference between singular and plural. Pastor, pastoris is a third declension noun. Okay, and pastori is dative singular, whereas pastoribus is dative plural. Okay, so which one makes more sense based on the picture? Here, there's one dude, so it's not pastoribus, it's got to be pastori. Okay, so the lion, the Leo, ostendit, showed the pedem, his foot, pastori, to the shepherd. Okay? So that's that. Those were the answers to the quiz from Wednesday and the homework from Thursday. Now, if I've said anything during this review that was confusing to you or you weren't sure about, part of your assignment today, even I'm just asking for you to hand in your flashcard journals, but if you have a question, post it on Google Classroom. I'll put up a little thing there, and you guys can try to answer each other's questions. I'll even hop in there and answer them too. Okay, but any questions you guys might have about today or the dative case or, that kind of stuff in general, post it and we'll see if we can get the ball rolling with that. Okay, so as a reminder, please submit your flashcard journal today. All right, and our final exam is going to be on June 16th. That's a Tuesday from 1 to 3. Please start reviewing your vocabulary and looking at grammar notes from throughout the year. Okay, next week is going to be a review week for the final exam, and you will be getting a study guide to help you. Okay, but don't count on just the study guide. The study guide is just a guide. It's going to tell you what things you need to study. It's not going to specifically lay it out for you. Okay, you guys got to do the legwork. Okay, if you have any questions about that, email me. Okay, don't Google Classroom me. Just email me because I won't get to it if you Google Classroom me. Okay, and again, this is my email. Okay, Slate@gcali.com. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And I'm thinking, I don't know how you guys would feel about this, but if we were to set up some Zoom meetings next week for final review so I can answer questions and I can see your wonderful faces, okay? If we were to do that, though, I'd probably set it up to be during our normal class time, which is like 10:28 to 11:10 in the morning. Okay, so you would have to be around for that, but I'll make the commitment if you guys want that. All right, kind of like extra help or question time, and it's good to show up for those. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great one. Wale day.